This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you, sir. Did you have a good Halloween?
I did. It was nice and peaceful. Not one trick-or-treater came to my door.
Two.
You had two?
We had two. It's a different ball game now.
It is.
Yeah.
And in other neighborhoods, they ran out of candy. So
Yeah, I
it's just
know.
amazing.
They should come to my house. Plenty left.
Now I'm coming to your house.
I know, that's right. Come on over. We certainly had great weather for it, though.
Beautiful.
Man, that turned out right? Yeah, it's beautiful. Nice day today. I think very similar to what we had yesterday. Not much in the way of a rainfall chance across the entire peninsula. Very quiet. And our daytime high today probably topping out about where we did yesterday. We hit 88 yesterday. We'll probably do the same again today, well above average. And not much in the way of rainfall. October, one of the driest months on record. Complete forecast details coming up in just a few. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, John. Take a look at Suncoast traffic. Things are moving along in Manatee County. No issues or delays in all of the county. Not Bradenton, not Palmetto, not Ellington. Thankfully, nowhere. So everything is moving along nicely. And as you move down into Sarasota County, it's more of the same there. 75, 301, and 41 all moving along without any issues right now. Now, topping our news this hour, a judge has ordered recorded negotiations with the terrorists responsible for the Pulse nightclub massacre to be made public. This morning, for the first time, we can listen in. Matt Lipoli reports.
My name is Islamic Soldier, okay?
The terrorist who shot and killed 49 people with an assault rifle inside a gay dance club is heard pledging his allegiance to ISIS on calls with 911 dispatchers and police negotiators. The shooter's admission to the attack was made public before in transcripts of the calls, but the newly released recordings give a real and audible account of several exchanges between the gunman and law enforcement in the hours after the massacre.
Omar, can I get you to come outside and talk to my people there at the scene so we can peacefully resolve this?
No.
As the negotiator tries to get information and plea for a peaceful resolution, the shooter repeatedly blames airstrikes in the Middle East as motivation for unleashing gunfire inside the nightclub.
Airstrikes need to stop.
Yes.
Needs to stop.
The airstrikes need to stop.
Killing.
And as dozens of innocent people lay dead or hurt near him, the recordings show the shooter offered no words of remorse. He's instead heard ranting about bombs he promised to detonate, which were never found, and other threats of further mass violence to come.
Let it be known, in the next few days, you're going to see more of this type of action going on, okay?
Back here on the Suncoast, the Palmetto congregation wants to make sure something positive comes out of a little girl's tragic death. Last night, members of the Palmetto Presbyterian Church held a benefit concert to raise funds towards a scholarship in Janiah Thomas's memory. Janiah was the 11-year-old who was found in her family's freezer last year, whose mother has now been charged with the murder and goes on trial next summer.
We just want to support their efforts, because it was such a tragedy and such a terrible, sad story. And there are a lot of sad stories out there, and I wish we could help everybody, but Janiah was particularly special, I think.
Graduating seniors going to college who attended Janiah's last school would be eligible for the annual scholarship. The scholarship is being managed by the Manatee Education Foundation. Venice firefighter's job is in jeopardy after being charged with a DUI in Pinellas County. Police say Jerry Collins was seen asleep at the wheel at a Pinellas Park intersection earlier this month. Officers watched as Collins sat through several green lights and said they could smell the alcohol when they opened his car door. He is also the union's vice president and allegedly did not report the incident to his superior within 72 hours, which is specified in city rules.
It is clear that that's the employee's responsibility. That in this case did not happen.
I'm concerned for, of course, it reflects on the city, and I'm concerned also for the individual.
Collins has been on a leave of absence since his arrest. A disciplinary hearing with the city is set for next month. And the Florida Highway Patrol is looking for the driver who hit and killed a man in East Manatee County, then took off yesterday morning. State troopers say 41-year-old Clarence Johnson was walking in the westbound lanes of State Road 64 just west of the Hardee County line around midnight. Troopers believe a Ford Super Duty pickup, truck, or van hit Johnson. Now, troopers are asking anyone with information to call their Bradenton location at 751-8350. And another fatal hit-and-run investigation is continuing as well, this one in South Sarasota, after 61-year-old Lynn Taylor was hit and killed on Gulfgate Drive back on October 18th. Troopers say the car involved may have been a white or light-colored Chrysler PT Cruiser with a sunroof. If you have any information on that hit-and-run, you're asked to call Sarasota County Crime Stoppers. And Suncoast roadways are starting to get a little busier this time of year, and restaurant wait times a little longer as well. Even with today being just the first day of November, the fall tourism season is already underway. Over the summer, Visit Sarasota promoted the area in different types of mediums, from print to television. Now, that resulted in record increases in summer tourism numbers, which included a more than 4% increase in spending. While it's still early in the fall season, officials are hoping the trend will continue, and residents, they're already noticing the difference.
There's a lot more traffic this year than usual, especially being out here in the University Parkway area.
Certain places that when you get close to the shopping centers and that type of thing, it gets much more crowded.
I currently work at a restaurant right now, and it's been getting busier and busier. This is the time when it usually starts, and paycheck is showing it.
Visit Sarasota officials say they'll have a better picture on this season's tourism numbers early next year. And the roadways may be jam-packed now, but imagine if our population increases by 50% over the next 20 to 30 years. Ringling College of Art and Design resident futurist David Howell predicts the population from the Tampa Bay area south to Venice will go from 4 million people to 6 million people by 2045. Howell predicts the driverless car will become one of our main modes of transportation during that time.
The average American uses their car 100 minutes a day, which means for 90% of the time you have a big thing that you've spent money on that's sitting in the garage being depreciated, right? So we're going to have driverless cars where we can cut down the number of cars that's projected anywhere from 1/3 to 2/3. So to the degree that we embrace driverless cars and technology is one thing. If we don't do anything else, we will have gridlock. This will become an unpleasant place to live.
Howell says local governments must work together to come up with a plan to handle traffic and make mass transportation more viable for everyone and not just those who don't own a car. This story is part of our month-long Suncoast 2037 series, and you can find many more on our website at mysuncoast.com. Still looking ahead, Sarasota getting a new Walmart neighborhood market soon. In just a few months, the store is set to open and the retailer is already looking to hire around 100 people. The new store is being built on Palmer Crossing Circle in the Palmer Crossing Plaza. A temporary hiring center has been set up near the site. Staff members are accepting applications at the center, and Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Also Saturday morning, starting at 9 until 2 in the afternoon. The majority of the new employees will start in November to help prepare for the store's grand opening, which will be in January. And also, a new mangrove ordinance is coming to Sarasota. It states the importance of mangroves in our ecology and what efforts are being taken to further care for them in our environment. Among the improvements, proper trimming of the mangroves by professionals to ensure they reach their maximum growth potential. Also, guidelines for property owners who may have mangroves in their waterfront areas. The ordinance is striving to conserve the natural resource and to assist locals in understanding what can be done for the mangroves to help protect them. And happening today, an event that's aimed at rejuvenating people after last night's celebrations. The Aesthetic and Wellness Center in Bradenton is starting at 3 o'clock today, and doctors will be on hand to demonstrate treatments and therapies aimed at giving individuals a quick boost, which I think you got from that chocolate yesterday. They'll also be answering any questions you may have on wellness and what may be available to help improve it. The event will also host a raffle to benefit the food bank of Manatee County. And now that Halloween is in the books, some businesses on the Suncoast are not wasting any time preparing for the next holiday season. Today, the River House Waterfront Market is opening for their annual holiday shopping season kickoff. Dozens of local businesses are offering a first look at their seasonal products, including gift baskets, jewelry, and sweet treats for the holidays. To help celebrate the event is hosting live music and raffle drawings, as well as a food drive for charity. Admission to the kickoff is free and starts at 6 o'clock at the River House Reef and Grill in Palmetto, John. So, geez, everybody just turned the page right away on Halloween, already getting ready for the next one. Thanksgiving's next, right?
Thinking Black Friday already, right?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. It's a beautiful day today here on the Suncoast. Nice to get out there at the waterfront and enjoy a little bit of our beautiful sunset. You know, it'd be nice tonight, I think. We have a little bit more, perhaps, high clouds. It'll kind of reflect some of the light from the setting sun. Be beautiful. Forecast for today, it looks good, on track, and we'll cover it in a second.
All right, thank you, John. Also, Linda Carson coming up takes us to Wares Creek, a community filled with beauty and history in a place we call home.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation, and everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts, and 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current conditions outside are 67 degrees with a dew point of 62. It's almost identical to where we were yesterday. You know, we're starting off with the same general atmospheric situation, and I don't see this pattern changing at all today. So we're looking at kind of a repeat of what we had yesterday. A few fair weather, high-level clouds, though mostly clear skies prevail currently. Lots of sunshine around today, and no chance of rainfall whatsoever, with breezy afternoon winds out of the northeast. That remains unchanged as well. Looking at 63, Wauchula Parish, Bradenton, Myakka, Lakewood Ranch coming in at 64, 63, and Arcadia, Northport, 66 Inglewood, and in Venice, and 67 degrees at Longboat Key. Across the peninsula, look at all of this dry air, indicated by tan here on the water vapor imagery. It's dry air at mid and upper levels across the entire peninsula. When you see that picture on water vapor imagery, there's only one possible forecast. And that's some pretty tranquil, stable conditions across the peninsula. Lots of sunshine, no rain chance, and some very pleasant weather. Yeah, warmer than average as well, with all that sun beating down on us and a northeast wind, with the wind coming at us over land, and the land heating up and the air then heating up and moving into our area. It's not ever very likely that you're going to see much in the way of cooler temperatures anyway. You need to see a northwest wind for that at this time of year, and that's what we will see with this frontal boundary approaching. As it approaches our area Friday night, our winds will pick up. They'll move from a more northeasterly or easterly direction, just about in the opposite direction, and that'll bring us down some decidedly cooler air, especially for Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And for Saturday and Sunday day as well, we'll probably lower the temperatures about 10 degrees from where we are today. So some delightful weather and more seasonable weather, I guess you could say, coming into the forecast as we head into Saturday and Sunday. But for today, warm again, dry skies, and that breezy wind out of the northeast continuing to provide us with a little bit of relief from the heat. As far as thunderstorms go, not going to see any around here today. You got to go 1,000 miles to see any kind of thunderstorm activity. Not necessarily severe weather. Don't anticipate severe weather most anywhere in the country today. But these are the hot spots for thunderstorm activity. So if you're traveling, say, to the Chicago airport for any reason whatsoever, why then you might encounter a few thunderstorms there. Otherwise, Florida absolutely free and clear of really even any rainfall. Taking a look at the RPM computer model today, remains dry. This computer model suggests perhaps a drop or two of rainfall moving across the entire peninsula into our area tomorrow. I'm not buying into that quite yet. As far as the forecast for the tropics go, everything here looks good. Nothing that looks like it's going to develop. You know, the number of storms that develop in the month of November drops off pretty sharply, so don't really expect to see too much happening in the Caribbean, Gulf waters, or the near Atlantic over the next 5 to 7 days. For us, northeast wind at about 15 will give you a moderate chop again today, and the forecast calls for daytime highs around the upper 80s for the next several days until we get to the weekend. Then we'll drop those temperatures down, and don't forget, clock's back Saturday night, Sunday morning. Back to you, Donnie.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways. Things are looking good. Everything's moving along in Manatee County, Bradenton proper also. And you see 75, 301, and 41 all moving along in a nice clip with what little volume there is on the road, so no worries there. And then as you head into Sarasota County, that too is free and clear this morning with no issues or delays anywhere throughout the whole county, as a matter of fact. Now, they say there is no place like home, and what better way to appreciate yours than to help keep it beautiful. ABC7's Linda Carson has more on a place we call home.
Early settlers arrived on the shores of this creek in the 1800s.
There was actually a family named the Wares that they came here. They were early pioneers, and as a matter of fact, I believe the husband was killed by Indians, and you know, so they actually had moved away.
Many of the homes were built in the 1920s.
An array of classic homes, you know, a lot of them are craftsman bungalows. A lot of people came here from the Northeast, so they brought down their original housing style with us.
But when Patrick Roth and his wife moved here in the 1980s, the homes were pretty run down.
We would spend countless hours sitting here on the corner saying, you know, someone needs to do something. Someone needs to do something. And one day I said, Dee Dee, I think it's us.
So they got the neighbors together.
So we had our first neighborhood meeting in my living room. There was 8 families in there. We basically told everyone, go home and paint your house, whether you needs it or not, you know, plant some shrubbery and some flowers, and we're just going to start reclaiming our neighborhood.
First, they cleaned up the creek.
Our very first cleanup, we pulled about 20,000 pounds of trash out of the creek.
They got state money for flood control and brought the neighborhood back.
We've gotten more people to come in and just rehab these beautiful homes.
Tika and Frederick Swetland rehabbed this house.
So it was probably a tear down. In fact, I'm sure it was a tear down after we got into it. But we have now brought it back to a fabulous little place to live.
It's the second Wares Creek house they've rehabbed.
We love Wares Creek. We love Wares Creek. Wares Creek is a unique neighborhood. I think one of the secrets here are the sidewalks, because everybody is out on the sidewalks.
Karen Brazell fell in love with Wares Creek while driving through the neighborhood.
I love 1920s. I love the bungalows. At first sight, I loved this yard. It brings me joy to be outside in this yard. I have the white picket fence, which I always thought of as very quaint and sweet, and it's great for my 3 little Yorkies.
They say Wares Creek is a great place to call home.
I feel safe, and I love that I can walk downtown in a matter of minutes.
Feels like a good neighborhood. People fit in, we all get along.
There are 280 homes in historic Wares Creek. Right now, you may be able to find a house at about $150,000, but they are rapidly moving into the 200s and above because everybody we've talked to here say this is a great place to call home. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, changes for the iPhone 8 could have some people, well, forgetting about the iPhone 7. We'll tell you about that coming up in Tech Bites.
The celebration is heating up and the prices just keep getting better during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Grand Cherokees or get big savings on a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Compass for just $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner. After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Welcome back, everybody. New details on the iPhone 8 make everybody who's still waiting for the iPhone 7 wait a bit longer. Here's ABC's Kendis Gibson and Diane Macedo.
In today's Tech Bites, time to start talking about the iPhone 8.
New reports indicate the iPhone 8 could be charged wirelessly and may have a new improved curved screen. The iPhone 8, though, won't be out for at least another year.
Keep those digital devices out of your child's bedroom, by the way. Researchers found a connection between phones, tablets, laptops, and a lack of sleep, possibly due to the blue light emitted.
And not enough sleep leads to other problems such as obesity and daytime sleepiness. And Black Friday is still weeks away, but that's not stopping Amazon from getting a head start. The online retailer will roll out its first Black Friday deals tonight.
Amazon says there will be tens of thousands of sales in its Black Friday shop, which stays open through December 22nd. So getting an early start.
On Christmas. Are we already talking Christmas?
Apparently.
Shopping?
Halloween's over now.
Oh, all right. Well, those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Edward Jones.
I know you're my financial advisor, but are you going to bring up that stock again?
Well, you need to think about selling some of
it. My dad gave me those shares, you know? He ran that company.
I get it. But you know, I think you own too much. Got to manage your risk.
You gotta switch to decaf.
An honest opinion, even if you disagree. With 13,000 financial advisors, it's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing.
Eat up, buddy. Look at it this time. Yeah.
Okay, not too quick. Don't let go until I say so.
I got you.
Start strong with the lasting energy of 100% whole grain Quaker oats. And off you go.
1 or 2 or both. Because at VisionWorks, when you buy a pair of glasses, you get a second pair at no additional cost. Go to visionworks.com/deals for your coupon. It's all about helping you be a better you. VisionWorks. Shop in store or online.
The time has finally come.
This is by far the most important vote that you've ever cast.
Are you ready to go to the polls?
Who will be your next president? Election night. This is where the Suncoast turns for answers. The powerhouse team of ABC News and Scott Dennis, Haley Wilgus, Alan Cohn. Election night, live on ABC 7. Brought to you locally by Florida Leather Gallery and Mater Brothers Furniture. ABC 7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish. There's free parking, and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the FBI continues its probe into Hillary Clinton's emails, this time looking into messages belonging to her aide. A Georgia man fighting for his freedom after prosecutors say he purposely left his infant son in a hot car to die. Hear what his wife has to say.
On this day at least, you don't have to pay attention to Michelle and healthy eating.
Plenty of candy at the White House this year as the president and thousands of trick-or-treaters celebrate this ghoulish holiday.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back, everyone. It's 5:30, and I am joined by John Scalzi. And John gave out just 2 pieces of candy yesterday, or did you give out a whole bunch because only 2 people came by?
I gave out a whole bunch. Pretty kind of something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I was surprised, but.
Now, the White House, do you think people just go up and ring the doorbell at the White House? Are you allowed to do that, or you get taken down?
As I understand it, that is the protocol, yes. It's open house. You just welcome to come in, browse around, Just leave the silverware.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the only requirement.
Sure. Somebody showing up with a mask? I don't know.
Yeah, right. We have, across our region today, a beautiful afternoon, kind of similar to yesterday's weather. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, brings us rain-free skies and lots of sunshine, boosting our temperature up again to well above average in the upper 80s. No rain today. As far as the weekend goes, boy, there'll be some changes there. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right, thank you, John. No rain and no traffic right now. Not a lot of volume as always at 5:30, but things are moving along. Anybody who is on the road is getting where they need to go. No issues or delays in Palmetto, Bradenton, all of Manatee County, as a matter of fact. And as you move down into Sarasota County, that too is moving along. All the major roadways, Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark, out to 75 from the coast, are all moving along without any problems. Now, getting closer and closer to the election. It's just 1 week from today. The campaign trail is again making its way through Florida, with candidates focusing on making a final and lasting impression. So today, Hillary Clinton will make 3 stops throughout Florida, beginning in Pasco County this afternoon. The event is taking place at the Pasco Hernando State College in Dade City. Doors open at 1 and the rally starts at 3 this afternoon. Afterwards, Clinton will then head east for 2 events in Sanford and then in Fort Lauderdale. Donald Trump and Mike Pence's campaign, meanwhile, going through Pennsylvania today. At a rally yesterday, things were not looking so bright for Mr. Pence. Literally, the electricity went out during his speech in Clearwater, leaving visitors unsure of what to do with themselves during the outage. Thankfully, there was no panic, and the lights did come back on shortly thereafter. Pence proceeded to address the crowd, saying he was here for the team with or without the lights on. On the Suncoast, Senator Marco Rubio is also holding a rally today. Starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon, anyone wishing to hear from him can gather at Mixon Fruit Farms in Bradenton. The candidate will be giving a speech on his future plans in the race for the Senate. This rally is open to the public. Following events going on within the state and with only a week until Election Day, the FBI reviewing new emails belonging to one of Clinton's closest aides. Democrats are demanding answers, and Republicans, well, they're looking to capitalize on the late October surprise. Here's a live look at Washington, and ABC's Lana Zach is there following all that's happening on the campaign trail.
I think we hit the mother load.
Donald Trump crisscrossing Michigan sounded celebratory.
Thank you, Anthony. I never liked you, Anthony. I never liked you, but thank you very much.
Thanking Anthony Weiner for his role in an alleged sexting scandal with an underage girl. The computer he used shared by his estranged wife, Huma Abedin, one of Clinton's closest aides. Her emails found on this computer are what prompted the probe. The FBI says it's moving ahead with urgency, trying to eliminate the emails they've already seen as part of their investigation into the private server of Hillary Clinton.
I'm sure a lot of you may be asking what this new email story is about and why in the world the FBI would decide to jump into an election with no evidence of any wrongdoing with just days to go. That's a good question.
Clinton sounding defiant.
There is no case here.
Other Democrats taking it even further. Senator Pat Leahy, the ranking Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, saying the Justice Department's response to their questions for clarification were disappointing and inadequate, and arguing that the timing of the FBI's announcement led to widespread confusion and unfair speculation. For her part, Huma Abedin's lawyer said she will, quote, continue to be, as she has always been, forthcoming and cooperative.
Clinton's campaign manager, Robbie Mook, criticized the FBI director for what he called a blatant double standard, arguing that he would not bring forward information about Russian hacks because it was too close to the election. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
And Hillary said there's no case there, but there is a case in Georgia, a case of a father who was accused of killing his child by leaving him in a hot car, and the trial for him continues. Justin Ross Harris faces malice and murder charges in the June 2014 death of his 22-month-old son, Cooper. Prosecutors say he was unhappy in his marriage and wanted the child out of the way. Now, ex-wife Leanna Taylor took the stand for the defense yesterday in the first full day of testimony.
Based on everything that I knew that day, Ross must have left him in the car. That was the only thing that made sense. It was the only thing that clicked in my mind as even a remote possibility. He was never checked in. If he was never checked in, then he must have forgot.
The prosecution called 51 witnesses before resting its case on Friday. And one Ohio man is thankful to be alive after being trapped in his car for 2 days. 2 highway workers saved his life when they found his car crashed in the woods. Tammy Mutasa reports.
Out here along the roads and stuff, you're always worried about something like that, finding something you just don't want to find.
For nearly 2 days, no one saw Corey Chambers trapped inside his crashed car off State Route 133. But a dead deer led ODOT workers Jeff Armstrong and Ryan Ninachuk to the car hidden deep in the woods.
As we were approaching the deer carcass, we had looked over to the right, and down into the weeds and the honeysuckle bushes, we saw a car. And that's when I told him to call 911.
Saturday night, neighbor Cherise Stair heard what sounded like a car thumping.
It just shakes me up really bad. I've seen some bad stuff on this road.
But when she went outside and looked around, she didn't find anything.
And I actually walked right down through here yesterday, fairly late yesterday, and never saw a thing.
Investigators say the 38-year-old victim had missed a curve, hit a tree, and landed in a ditch.
Just kind of shocked at first, and it's kind of eerie feeling. You know, you're not real for sure, you know, what you're walking up to.
We went down to the car, and I could see a foot out of the back window, and finally we got him to respond, and he had said he had been down there for a couple days.
Investigators say Chambers was alert when Air Care flew him to the hospital. Troopers commended the ODOT workers for finding the victim before more time passed.
Ultimately, these guys saved this guy's life, and we don't know how long he would have laid out there.
A new law banning plastic shopping bags is being reconsidered in light of the election season now. After California banned the bags 2 years ago, the law never went into effect because of political challenges. Voters in California again will have the chance to decide the fate of plastic bags. New options include Proposition 67, which would enforce the ban on plastic bags, or Proposition 65 that would make bags available but at the price of 10 cents each. The decision is leading a discussion nationwide on the impact plastic grocery bags have on our country's landfills and environment. Producers of the bags say follow the money.
All of that money is kept by the grocers, so that's $300 million or more annually that grocers will keep off of this bill. So this was a special interest, a typical Sacramento business as usual deal.
All that money kept by the grocers, so $300 million or more annually the grocers will keep off of this bill. And so this is a special interest, typical Sacramento business as usual deal. The profit to be made of the sale of the bags will only take place if the proposition requiring a fee passes, while if not, the production plants will be at a loss due to the ban. Protesters all across the country are fighting for the environment and Native American lands in Dakota, as groups are taking a stand against that Access Pipeline project. In San Francisco, protesters rallied in the lobby of a city bank, a company that's holding a largest share of the pipeline's funding. Their efforts were noticed and protesters were removed by the city's police. The corporation declined to comment on the protests, and those behind the movement spoke out.
If this water gets contaminated, there's no turning back. And this water is very sacred to all of us, not only human race, but the animals and the land.
Police say the protesters were removed because they had taken over the lobby, which counts as a form of trespassing. While many children spent Halloween trick-or-treating, a few kids in Oregon went hunting with their father instead. They were only subject to a terrible accident, unfortunately, one that resulted in them getting shot. 27-year-old Zach Davis took his 3 young sons and 54-year-old father out hunting yesterday. When Davis says he heard a deer nearby, he drew his weapon and the unexpected happened. A lieutenant, part of the investigation, explains that she thinks it was all just an accident.
When he came back to the vehicle, he accidentally discharged his rifle, and it entered the vehicle. A bullet entered and hit both the 2-year-old and the 4-year-old.
Any report on how the kids are doing, condition-wise?
The 4-year-old is stable, and the 2-year-old, I believe, had surgery and is considered non-life-threatening at this time.
Officials say Davis is fully cooperating with investigators. They're still trying to figure out how the rifle accidentally discharged. And Proving not all disasters have to end in turmoil, some kids in Robeson County say they are glad to get back to school after Hurricane Matthew flooded them out. This is a school in Robeson County that just reopened this week. Teachers taking the opportunity to welcome students with Halloween candy. And while some students lost their homes and have to attend different schools, many are simply content that things are starting to return to normal.
Excited about seeing my friends again because it's been like so long, and I think we've gone through a lot of stuff and they just need to be happy.
State officials are still deciding whether or not students will have to make up the 15 missed school days. Speaking of happy kids, last night made for a thrilling night for the Obamas. They celebrated their final Halloween at the White House with a little flash mob dance to Michael Jackson's Thriller. The President and First Lady handed out goodies, and visitors got to walk through a storybook-themed lawn. It featured decorations inspired by classic tales like Peter Pan, The Wizard of Oz. President Obama decided to have a little fun this last year in the White House, giving some Halloween advice.
On this day at least, you don't have to pay attention to Michelle and healthy eating.
Candy for everybody.
And in fact, the more candy, the later you eat the candy, the better. Because I think that you being up all night with a sugar rush is exactly what your parents are looking for.
Oh, more than 4,000 people were expected to visit the White House for Halloween, and I'm not sure, John, what he's going to get more in trouble for, disobeying Michelle or getting the kids all wired up for their parents to have to deal with.
I think either way, he's in deep trouble. Either way.
She said, what? You don't have to listen to me? What?
Yeah, I know.
Are you
right.
out of your mind?
It's trouble. It's trouble. I see it. We have today some pretty nice weather again.
That's
Donnie.
good to hear.
Yeah, a lot of sunshine. It's beautiful. Big changes this weekend. Looks like it's going to be delightful weather this weekend as well. All in all, the country's looking pretty quiet. Weather-wise, it's a nice day to be a weatherman.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe this weekend we won't have that mutilated melted chocolate that we had yesterday.
Oh, I tell you, there was a time when it got pretty hot out there. Yeah, we'll have the forecast for you in a second.
Excellent. Speaking of candy, you ready to let go of some of that extra candy from last night? Perhaps you should. We'll tell you why.
At ABC 7, it's all about being here for you. ABC 7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast. Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC 7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC 7 and these sponsors.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current conditions outside your door this morning are about the same as they were yesterday morning, with 67 degrees the air temperature and a dew point coming in the low 60s. So very comfortable, clear skies, and a wind that is a little breezy out of the northeast coming in at about 6. It'll be even breezier as we head into the afternoon. So all in all, we're looking for a pretty nice day today. 65, Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka Parish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Northport, Punta Gorda coming in at 60, 67s in Venice and Inglewood, and the warmest spot, Longboat Key, coming in at 70 degrees. Across the peninsula, we have very dry air in place. This is the water vapor imagery, which kind of takes a snapshot from space of where the moisture is, where it is not, looks at the swirls and motions, and basically we have an open gate of dry air streaming down the spine of the state. And with that in mind, you can't forecast any rain. You really don't even forecast too much in the way of cloud cover around today. We have very dry air that's going to stay with us for probably a couple of days. Now, eventually, I think we'll have a thin layer of moisture kind of brought in by the northeast winds at lower levels from the Atlantic, and that may bring a few more clouds around tomorrow, or at least by Thursday. But as far as rainfall goes, I don't see that in the forecast. November, generally one of the driest months, the driest month of the year, and I think that will hold true this month as well. This November. Last October, yes, last month was one of the driest Octobers on record, and I don't see that trend altered at all. High pressure remains the dominant weather feature along the eastern seaboard. We had one departing frontal boundary, not an issue for us. And another frontal boundary will eventually start to impact our weather, but not until probably Friday into Saturday. And that will be, I think, a nice change for a lot of folks. I think we'll enjoy what's coming up with that next front. Until then, high pressure brings us that northeasterly wind flow, and it will be breezy at times, which will be nice because daytime high temperatures will be above average right straight through, probably until through Friday, I would think. And that will be nice to have that afternoon breeze, especially a dry breeze to kind of take the edge off the afternoon highs. Breezy again this afternoon. That frontal boundary due to arrive on Friday will probably also not have any kind of thunderstorm activity with it. During the winter, you look for these fronts to come through, and sometimes they do contain thunderstorms, sometimes even severe weather, but not this time. The air way too dry to support that. You have to go way back toward Chicago to Kansas City to see any kind of thunderstorm activity close by. Texas may see a little bit today, but we certainly will not. As far as our weather goes over the next several days, I think it's going to kind of be status quo. Like I said, this computer model, and I think it correctly depicts a little increase in cloud cover over the next couple of days. As far as the showers that this model picks up on and slings back into our area, I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of that. I think that's slightly overdone. Tropics, quiet, nothing here that causes us concern. Everything looks very tame weather-wise for the next 7 days, in fact. Northeast wind at about 15 for today, moderate chop with 2 to 3 foot seas. And watch what happens on the weekend. The front comes through Friday. Things get breezy Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures drop about 10 degrees. Nighttime lows drop as well. Maybe even see some 50s around here Saturday night into Sunday. And don't forget, early in the morning on Sunday, when you go to bed Saturday night, set those clocks back 1 hour. Back to you, Don.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways, things are starting to pick up at 550, but Still about normal volume for this time of the morning with no accidents or delays in Manatee County. No issues to worry about. And as you head down into Sarasota County, same holding true there. Volume picking up, but no impediments to getting where you want to go this morning. Now, you may have done a good job of staying away from the Halloween candy leading up to trick-or-treating last night, but how good are you at passing on the leftovers today? And everybody's brought them into work, so it's going to be difficult. According to doctors, we can power our way through the workday without reaching for the sweets with a little bit of a mind-over-matter help. It helps if we come prepared, eating a solid breakfast that is high in protein that can help reduce the sugar cravings that tend to creep up in the afternoon. It's not a complete diet wrecker. If you do end up grabbing one or two treats, it's just not a good idea to take down a whole pile of candy without thinking twice about it.
If you do choose to indulge in one of those candy bars, do it mindfully. Make sure that you sit down. You can also eat with your non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so eating with my left hand. That's going to help to slow down, giving that piece of candy all of your attention so you can savor it and really enjoy it.
If you're trying to avoid using sugar, give you that mid-afternoon energy boost at work, get up, walk around, and do some mild stretching, and you can help get your blood pumping, giving you a natural energy boost instead of that sugar we want. And ghost peppers are a trendy addition to restaurant menus and food challenges for those who are looking to take spicy hot to the next level, and it is the next level. But how do you know when hot is too hot? All peppers are rated on a scale known as the Scoville scale that measures how hot and spicy they are. To put it in perspective, a bell pepper has a Scoville rating of 0. Jalapenos are rated between 3,000 and 10,000 units. Ghost peppers, well, they check in at a whopping 1 million units. Doctors warn even if you like spicy and hot, sometimes it can be too much and it can be dangerous.
It could also cause digestive distress, so burning of your esophagus, nausea, vomiting, probably all of the things that you'd like to avoid.
If you do want to try the ghost pepper, make sure you start with a very small amount to learn if you are able to tolerate it, and then work your way up slowly to avoid any distress. And when you get a hot pepper, it is painful. It's not just spicy, it's painful. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by Gulf Coast Honda.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival. Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish. There's free parking, and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival. Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Some people in Florida couldn't help but hear the sounds of witches this Halloween, as they were good witches brewing up trouble for a fantastic cause. A group of women in South Walton County dressed up as witches and rode their bikes through the community. It was all to raise money for the Children's Volunteer Health Network. Oh, nicely done. See, they're not bad witches, so they couldn't ride their brooms, John. They had to ride bikes.
There you go.
Good
Nice
witches.
costumes, too.
Yeah, they did a good job, and for a good cause, so it's a good thing to hear. All right, it's 5:56, and we'll be back with more news after this.